Okay, this is the daily money-making setup for the S&P E-mini for June 14th using the processtrading.com right edge trading system. This will just be a quick video tonight because I got a little behind schedule and it's a little bit late. So we'll just go over quickly what are some of the highlights of today's price movement. Clearly here's where the day began, right over in this area here. You can see that price hits the contrarian band here. The contrabands are this white line and this white line. This is the process trading VWAP line that serves as both the trend trading element, a support and resistance line, and a regression to the mean line. So where does price regress to the mean from? Well, it regresses to the mean after price has touched or gone over the contrarian bands. And these would be where you could take contrarian trades. In processtrading.com, we do three types of trades. We do the trend trading with the VWAP, whether it's yellow or gray. And we do counter trend tradings or contrarian tradings when price hits the contrabands. We do those with specific trade management techniques or money management techniques, if you will. And those are described over on processtrading.com. The whole point in the trend trading is to sell into weakness and to buy into strength. The whole point in the contrarian trades is to manage your trade with low risk and high probability of a trend. And then the discretionary trades are facilitated through these highly effective leading non-correlated discretionary indicators, the Intergy, which is the internal energy of the price movement, the cinnamon oscillator that tells you how the trading community is taking the trade over the long run, and then over the short run also the short-term trend oscillator, which tells you both volatility by the width of the oscillator bands, which vary. You can see they're very narrow over here where the range of volatility is shrinking. And these are the contrarian indicators for taking, or the discretionary indicators for taking discretionary trades. So we see today early on, price went above the contrarian band, and well, I won't get into the specific techniques, but you do need to have a trend alert dot or a timing alert dot. That's these blue dots here. When you're going short from a contrarian position, it has to be above the price bar, and the price bar itself has to be touching or above the contrarian line. Then price regresses back down to the mean, and this is close enough to be significant to that, or clearly here price came close to the contrarian band and then regressed to the mean. Now at this point here, you have pro bars. There's three types of traders depicted here. It's the professionals, which are the blue bars, the less skilled traders, which are the yellow bars, and all the other traders, whether they be high frequency traders, institutional, or whatever, are depicted by all the other bars. The pro bars themselves do not make price move in that direction, but they know what price is going to do, and that's how they make money, and that is how we make money as well, by following them. When they stack up like this and start to go down like this, we know it's going to come to an end at some time, and that's what we're looking for, is to when are the pros getting out of that particular trend. We see from the VWAP here, the VWAP is normally gray when price is in a downtrend, such as it is here. And then when the VWAP is red, it's extended to that trend. And then when it's white within the gray, then it's overextended. So here we have the pro bars coming down, and this is the last one we have here. It's from an overextended position. We get the timing alert dot here. Price starts to move back up. We look at our discretionary indicators here. We see, and let me mention here, when you're looking at the discretionary indicators, you have demand, and which is the green, you have weakness, which is the gray, and you have supply, which is the red. But the way that you would really read this is, and it's a proxy for volume. You just don't, it's not a one-to-one volume, so you don't see the bars that are associated with it, but it tells you a lot more information than does the volume. It tells you the energy that is being depicted within the volume to make the price move in the direction it does. So you'd read this as demand is coming in. It comes up to a point where there are there's going to be less demand. It shows weakness here. Now you'd say that's a weakness in demand, but there still is demand there because you can see the height of the gray bars. So there still is demand. So there's demand, then there's weakness in the demand. And then down in this area, this is a no demand area. Now, just because you hit no demand doesn't mean that you're not going to go through a period of time and then just come upon more demand, and it'll come in, and then there'll be weakness in that demand because buyers aren't going to keep buying incessantly forever. There'll be weakness in that demand, and then the demand will get weaker, and then it will come down to a point of no demand. In these particular cases, it came down to a point of no demand, and then supply showed up. So the same thing will happen with supply. Supply will show up. It will go down to a apex to the bottom side. Weakness will come in. You see that by the gray bar here and the yellow underscore here, which shows strength to the upside. So weakness is coming in supply. Supply, there still is supply showing up, but here there's a no supply. And in fact, demand starts to come back in. So that's how you read the energy in the indicator, and that's how you know where the price movement is likely to ascend or descend. As well, when you get price movement, and I guess I won't go over the stop exit line tonight, but I will mention that when you get a pro bar that's lined up with the cinnamon oscillator by itself is an extremely accurate leading indicator and predictor of price movement. So you have momentum here, and it's crossing through the cinnamon line. The cinnamon line expresses the conviction of the trading community. So that here you have momentum cutting down through it. So that tells you the momentum now is starting to the downside. And then also you see the sentiment or the conviction is starting to slope down. So it's important to note the position and the structure, the slope of the momentum line and the sentiment line and the structure of where they are. You can see that this sentiment line from here to here, the conviction is still in the upper half of the oscillator, so it's still positive. It's over here that it goes through the midline and goes into the lower half of the oscillator, which means that the conviction is negative. But back to the point I was making, when you have a blue professional bar and it lines up with the sentiment crossing, or the momentum crossing the sentiment line, that's also a very strong indication of price going to continue in that direction. You see it here, you see it over here, here you have the blue professional bar lined up right there. Let's see. Well, you can check out the rest for yourself. So you had a good trade here. It would have been by the processtrading.com system, that would have been a discretionary trade because price did not touch the contraband. But you can see that that would have been a good trade. You're watching the blue professional bars. You see where they're ending, why they're ending, and what's going to happen. And then you see price go back up, break through the support line, turn yellow, and then it hovered back and forth. It just kind of whipsawed through support there. So that's it for today. If you want to see more about processtrading.com concepts and everything, and you go over to processtrading.com and look at the blogs. There's an e-money minute blog over there. There's a stock money minute. There's an indicator analysis of videos over there. It explains pretty well the system. And if you want to leave a question or comment, or you want to follow the blogs, there's a contact form down at the bottom of the page. Just put in your email and your blogs, and hit the subscribe button here if you want to continue to get the e-money daily setups for the money-making setups for the E-mini. And also, then at some point here, I'll go over how we work at processtrading.com, where you use the system, and the first thing you do is your paper trade. You have to get to an 80% success rate paper trading. Then we're looking for that particular percentage. Then you can go to a real trade. So every step of the way, it's guided so that you understand what you're doing, how to do it, and you have a good feel for reading the market. So that's it for this video. Hope all your trading goes well. Hope the weekend is setting up nice weather-wise, and you have a great weekend as well. And I'll catch you on the next video.